Welcome back to week 2 of Fresh for You. I hope you enjoyed the yogurt parfait and the Greek salad recipes from last week. Everyone received slightly different products so we can see different creations. So for the parfait, some people got blueberries and other people got raspberries. As well, there were 2 different types of high fiber cereals. And you guys can add your own twist to things, so it was great being able to see everybody's work and to know how everyone's doing. So this week we'll be making pita pizza and trail mix. Before we get started, I just want to make sure that you completed the pre-surveys and the media release form. The pre-surveys help us determine if we need to make changes to our programs and how. And for the media release form, that allows me to show your beautiful creations to everyone else in the group. Your parents will have to sign those if you're under the age of 18, which I suppose most of you are. When you notice, for your grocery drop-off, you might have gotten different products than some other participants. So for the pita pizza, you might use different toppings or leftovers from last week, so such as the cherry tomatoes or the peppers. For the trail mix, you have different cereals that you can use, also maybe some that you find in your own cupboard. There's different chocolates that people received. Some people received raisins, versus some people received cranberries. Some had almonds or walnuts. And the popcorn, you'll need to put that in the microwave and pop that first. So make sure you consult with your parents before you pop the popcorn. And remember, you want to make sure that you continue receiving those grocery drop-offs, since there's one more, and that's next week. Post your picture on your social media account and tag it with the hashtag FreshYouthCK, or write a comment on the video on YouTube, or you can even just email me at tasha.rugles@ckchc.ca. That's tasha.rugles@ckchc.ca. I'll be looking for all your responses, your comments, and your pictures. And I'll make sure to send you a drop-off when I notice that you are being active and that you're enjoying these weeks. So, before we do get started into our recipe, do you remember the first thing we have to do before we start preparing? Yes, that's right. We have to wash our hands. Remember, you want to wash it for at least 20 seconds. And 15 of those seconds, you want to make sure that you're lathering your hands with soap. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Let's go wash our hands. Alright, so today we're going to be making a tempting trail mix, something that's quick and easy, great for on the go. It's high in fiber as well as lots of protein to keep you full for much longer. So you can start with a cereal. Today I have chosen cheese fiber 1. You might have regular Cheerios at home or Shreddies. You might use any cereal of your choosing. So that's up to you. For some nice sweetness to add, I bought some M&Ms to add to it, as well as some dried cranberries. So this isn't only going to add some nice sweet flavor, but it's also going to add some extra fiber. Same with the nuts. So whatever nuts you might have at home, whether it be cashew, walnuts, or even roasted soy nuts, feel free to add it in. So today I have some almonds and I have some peanuts that I'm going to use. And then to give a little twist, you can add in popcorn too. So I'll be adding in the popcorn as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's add them in. So I'm going to add in some of the Fiber 1 cereal. And then the peanuts. I was contemplating whether to get the raisins or not. It's really up to you. Got the cranberries, so any kind of dried fruit is nice to add, whether it be dried apple, dried mango, whether it be raisins, whatever your preference. Adding in those almonds. So I actually found this around in the cupboards, just taking a look around. I said, why not? Let's add in some peanuts. And then I'm gonna add in, last but definitely not least, some popcorn. Could add in a little bit more. Let's see. Here we go. Just gonna close this container and give it a nice good shake to mix everything up. There you go, my tempting trail mix. I can keep it just like this on the counter, throw it in my lunch bag, whatever I choose. And let me see, let me give this a nice taste. Now that's a good mix. I hope you enjoy yours too. All right, welcome back to the kitchen. So we're gonna be making pita pizzas. So for the pita pizzas, I use a whole grain pita. You might use something else. You might use maybe a half bagel, an English muffin. It's really up to you what starch you wanna use with your pita pizza. I also have pizza sauce that I'm gonna use. I had some leftover ingredients from last week, so I still have a pepper and I got a red onion, so I'm gonna throw those on. I mean, you can use anything you find in your cupboard. Maybe you have some canned pineapples that you want to use. Or maybe there's some leftover chicken from last night's dinner. Feel free to throw those on too. I actually got pizza mozzarella, so I know it actually says cheddar cheese, but you can use either or even a mixture of them, whichever kind of cheese you choose. I didn't find olive oil, unfortunately, but instead I melted some margarine. So you can use melted margarine or butter. I just simply put some in a cup, microwaved it for a few seconds, about 30 seconds, and there you go. I'll be using this in place of the olive oil. So let's get started. Alright, so first, before we even start making the pizza, you want to make sure that you start the oven. Anytime you're baking, you want to preheat the oven first, since it takes time for the oven to get to the desired temperature. So I'm just gonna go over here, turn my oven on to 350 degrees. So it's gonna start warming up, and when it gets to that temperature, it's gonna beep, letting me know that it's ready. Remember to always consult with your parents. Make sure they're present, or adults present, before you go and turn on the oven. So now for the pizza. So I used a baking pan and I added parchment paper to the bottom to make sure it doesn't stick. You can also spray some cooking spray on the bottom, or if you have a really good pan, you might not even really need anything. But just in case, I like using the parchment paper. So I place my pita on the parchment paper, then I'm gonna brush it with that melted margarine, since I didn't have any olive oil. I couldn't find a brush, but you can always use a spatula. It's nice and bendy and flexible, but I'll be able to get all the melted margarine right on there. All right. Next, you want to add the sauce. So anytime you're using a canned product, you do want to rinse the top off. You never know what happened getting it from the production to the grocery store into your house. So it's always safe to just run some water on the top of any can before you use a can opener to open it. Just gonna get that open. And I'm also gonna use a spoon to finish lifting that lid. You don't want to use your fingers because you don't want to get your fingers cut. It can be very sharp, the edges of the can. I'm just going to use a spoon to kind of spread it onto my pita. sometimes you can make your own tomato sauce. So what you need to do for that is to chop up a bunch of tomatoes and just let them simmer on the stove for a really long time. Talk with your parents more and they'll be able to help you make that tomato sauce if you want to make one. But using it canned too doesn't hurt as well. Next, I'm going to chop up the peppers. So remember what I said in the first video, you want to make sure that you're holding the knife properly for most control. Let's go ahead and get some pieces of pepper onto that pizza. I really love pizza, and if you're looking for a healthier version, you want to choose whole wheat pizzas. So a lot of places have whole wheat available if you're ordering, or just make it yourself. You get lots of vegetables on it. I'm just gonna add that. Some pepper on there. Right. I really like onions on my pizza. I know not everybody likes onion, and yes, I like pineapple. I know there's a great debate about pineapple, fruit or no fruit, but personally, I do like pineapple. Fortunately, I don't have any today. But what I do have, I'll definitely use. So I just cut the onion in half, removing the first layer. Make sure there's no skin on there. Then I'm going to put a couple of slits one way, turn it the other way, and I'll make it much easier when I'm chopping. The nice small pieces. I'm just going to take some of that, sprinkle it all over that pizza. Alright. Can you see that? It's starting to look really good. My stomach is churning. Next, I'm going to take the cheese, and I bought brick cheese because it's much cheaper than buying it already shredded. All you need is a shredder, the cheese, just shred it on top. You get more for your money when you buy it in blocks. Just need to move this a little bit more. Also, you can consider aged cheese, so a cheese like old, and have it low fat. So the older it is, the stronger the flavor is going to be, and then lower in fat is going to make it a little bit healthier for your heart. We want your heart to last as long as you do, so we want to make sure that we're doing our best to protect that. Did you hear that? That's the oven. It's at 350 degrees, and it beeped to let us know that it's ready. It's ready right on time. So now what we do is we take our lovely pizza. Can you see that? We're going to put it in the oven for about 10 to 15 minutes. We want to see all the cheese melted, a nice color, but we don't want it to get burnt or too brown. So keep your eyes on it and check it every so often. If you need to, use a timer on the oven so you don't forget that you're baking it. All right, let's get it in the oven. So while you're waiting for that 10 to 15 minutes, what you could do is you can start tidying up the dishes that you already dirtied. That'll keep you a little bit busy, plus it'll keep you in the kitchen around the oven. So if something should go wrong, you're right there to know, to smell, maybe to see it before something bad really happens. All right, so I'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes and we'll go see how that pizza goes. All right, so it's been about 10 to 15 minutes. I checked the pizza and it looks great. Looks about ready. So I'm going to turn off the oven, and you normally should use oven gloves, but I can't find them here. So if you don't have any, you can use kitchen towels. Make sure that none of your hands are getting into that oven. It's properly covered so you don't burn yourself. If you need help, just ask the adult present with you. All right, let's go get that pizza out. Looks great. A really want to try some of this, but I gotta wait a little until it cools. Will you help me cool it? Come on, let's try. A big breath. Okay, let's try to make it cool really quick. I think it's cool. All right, let me go cut a slice and try it. That's really good. I really want to get off this video so I can enjoy this pizza. Remember, you can take this pizza, you can pair it with anything. A salad maybe some cucumbers, maybe some kale chips, anything that you like. And you can add anything on the pizza. I mean anything. Leftover vegetables, fruit, leftover meat, beans, whatever your heart desires. Give it a try. You never know. You just might like it. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and can't wait for more recipes to share with you. So there you have it. You have delicious PITA pizza and you have your trail mix. Don't forget, you can always pause and go back and look at the video if you want to make it again, or if you just want to make one thing today and maybe another thing tomorrow. Don't forget to take pictures and videos when you're making it, post it on social media, tag it, #FreshForYouCK, and even email me at my email address, tasha.reglis@ckchc.ca. On YouTube, comment under the video if you so wish, so others can see it and we can know what we need to change, or if you really like what we're doing. During our final session, so that's going to be in 2 weeks on November 11th, it's going to be live. So in order for us to do it live, I want to make sure that you can participate. So we need to know what time works for you. Does 4 o'clock work? 5 o'clock? And maybe it's 6 o'clock. Let me know. Send me an email so I can know what time to set it at. Next week's video, I will surely include that time and let you know when to tune in and give you the link for that as well. So have a great week, and I can't wait to see your creations and see you next week.